But the longer the war, the younger the soldier. During the ceasefire that happened in Sri Lanka, both the army side and on the LTT side, both sides were refilling weapons and people. So there was a necessity that every family had to give one kid for the war. If the kid is about like 10 years old or something like that. I remember I was 13, 14 years old at the time. And a lot of our known people, schoolmates have gone, and a lot of them died also very shortly because these are very young kids. This is happening in our family, is somehow known to both sides, and that's why we had a lot of pressure. I have a brother, elder brother. When he was 18, he was also sent out of Sri Lanka, and it's only me, my mom, and my sister were living. I had no choice to become a child soldier at the age of 14. Fortunately, the ceasefire happened. That was the moment that we could escape. So me, my mom, and my sister left the country immediately. The nearest country that we could go at the time, because of ceasefire, we could take flights. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible. It was a very difficult time in India. There was a political power. It's been changing from one government which was neutral and another government which was completely against Sri Lankan Tamils. They got into the power, so we were not given any opportunity there. If you know that, I think still India is one of the countries that does not, I think, officially sign the treaty of accepting refugees. Basically, we went with visas, but we were made stateless refugees in the first few months. Me and my sister were young, and my mom would be only 3 people. My father was in another country. My brother was in another country. Since the situation was not good there and we were not given place to live, we were not allowed to go to school because none of our system or certificates were accepted. It has been a little bit difficult for my parents, so they took a decision that they will send my sister to my brother. My mom went to my dad, and so I ended up as a child refugee in India for quite some time. During this time, I was 15 years old, 16 years old, and I was not doing things as the other kids at the same time. I had a big gap between my school studies because I was not going. I learned to do some animation. This happened 22 years ago, so it's in the early stage of digital animation for the internet. So I had learned some work in Sri Lanka, and then when I was in India at the time, I can go to internet cafe and learn further on that because I'm not going to school. That's how I started doing a little bit more into as a service. And I thought that, okay, why can't I start providing this as a service to people? My brother got me a project for a medical university to create animated learning management system for anatomy. And then I started getting small projects from known people. Of course, I didn't have any identity. We didn't have any bank account at Dream. So we have to do everything through Western Union or proxies. That gave me an understanding that you don't have to be educated, you don't have to be privileged to be an